Willpower does not work. I know that's the opposite of everything you've heard, but give me 12 minutes and I'll prove it. And more importantly, I'll give you something that actually does. Because the reason you haven't built discipline yet isn't weakness. It's that everyone has been handing you the wrong tool. Every self help book, every motivational video, every coach will tell you the same thing. Just try harder, be more disciplined, want it more, and for a while, you do try harder. Maybe you wake up early, you eat clean for 3 days, you stick to the plan, and then Thursday happens, you're tired, you're stressed, and suddenly the version of you who had all that discipline is nowhere to be found. So you tell yourself, you're the problem. You're not. Back in the 1990s, a psychologist named Roy Baumeister ran a series of studies that changed how scientists think about self-control. What he discovered was this: willpower is not a character trait, it's a resource. And like any resource, it runs out. His research showed that by evening, decision-making quality drops by as much as 65%. The person who lacks discipline isn't weak, they're just depleted. And there's a massive difference. Baumeister called this phenomenon ego depletion. Here's how it works. Every single time you resist a temptation, make a decision, or force yourself to focus, your brain expends a measurable amount of mental energy. It doesn't matter if it's a big decision or a small one. Should I answer this email now or later? Should I eat this or that? Should I keep working or take a break? Every one of those micro decisions chips away at the same finite resource. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Baumeister's team connected this to glucose, the brain's primary fuel source. When participants in his studies were given a sugary drink after completing a willpower-draining task, their self-control performance recovered. This wasn't about sugar being magic. It was evidence that willpower has a biological cost. Think about your own life for a second. When do you give in to the things you said you wouldn't? Late at night? After a long workday? When you're already overwhelmed? That's not coincidence. That's ego depletion in action. Your tank is empty, and you're still trying to drive. Now, researchers have debated the exact mechanisms of ego depletion since Baumeister's original work. Some studies have challenged parts of the model, but here's what the science consistently confirms across decades of research: decision fatigue is real, mental energy is finite, and the more you rely on willpower alone, the more you'll fail. Not because you're undisciplined, but because willpower was never designed to be your primary strategy. So what is? The answer is environmental design. And it sounds almost too simple, which is probably why no one talks about it. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, puts it like this: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Here's what that means in practice. Discipline isn't about summoning more willpower in the moment of temptation. It's about designing your environment so the temptation barely reaches you. Or better yet, so the right choice is the easiest choice. Let's make this concrete. Example 1. You want to stop scrolling your phone before bed. Don't rely on willpower to resist it at 11 p.m. when your defenses are gone. Move the charger to another room, outside the bedroom entirely. You've just eliminated the decision. The temptation never reaches you. Example 2. You want to work out in the morning, but you never seem to get started. Stop trying to motivate yourself at 6 a.m. The night before, lay your gym clothes on the floor next to your bed, your shoes, your water bottle, everything ready. Now, the path of least resistance is the workout, not skipping it. Example 3. You want to eat healthier? Don't white knuckle it in front of the fridge. Move the healthy food to eye level. Put the junk behind things or in opaque containers. Studies show people eat what they see first, not what they plan to eat. You're not changing your character, you're changing your context. And context shapes behavior more powerfully than motivation ever will. Clear calls this choice architecture, designing the physical spaces around you so good choices require less mental effort. This is the first pillar of your discipline architecture. Remove the need for willpower. Redesign the field. Now let's talk about the second tool, because environment design handles the space around you. But what about the moment of decision, when you're in the middle of a day and something unexpected throws you off? That's where implementation intentions come in. Peter Gollwitzer is a psychologist at New York University who spent decades studying why people fail to follow through on their goals, even when they genuinely want to. His finding? Vague goals fail. Specific plans succeed. In one landmark study, Gollwitzer tracked two groups trying to achieve the same goal. Group 1, committed to the goal. I want to exercise more. Group 2, committed to the goal and created an implementation intention. When Monday comes, I will go for a 20-minute walk at 7 a.m. before I check my phone. Group 1, success rate, 31%. Group 2 success rate, 91%. The format is simple, almost deceptively simple. When, situation, I will, specific behavior. That's it. But what's happening underneath is powerful. You're preloading a decision. You're removing the need to deliberate in the moment, because the moment you encounter the trigger, the response is already wired in. It's the mental equivalent of laying out your gym clothes the night before, but for your decisions, not just your environment. Let's build 3 together, right now. Number 1, for your mornings. When my alarm goes off, I will put my feet on the floor before I look at my phone. Not, I'll try to get up earlier. Specific trigger, specific behavior. Number 2, for your work. When I sit down at my desk, I will write my 3 most important tasks before opening email. This anchors your priorities before distraction has a chance to set the agenda. Number 3, for your evenings. When the clock hits 9 p.m., I will put my phone in the kitchen and open my book. Triggers the wind down without relying on you to feel like doing it. 3 decisions, made in advance. 3 moments in your day where willpower isn't needed, because the path is already chosen. This is the second pillar. Now let's put it all together, because when you combine environmental design, implementation intentions, and habit stacking, layering small behaviors onto existing ones, you stop relying on willpower entirely. You build what I call your discipline architecture. It's not a rigid schedule, it's a design system of default. Here's what it looks like across a day. Your morning. Environment, phone charges in the kitchen, gym clothes on the floor, journal on the nightstand. Implementation intention. When my alarm sounds, I put my feet on the floor before anything else. Habit stack. Alarm to feet on floor to drink water to 5-minute walk or stretch to write 3 priorities. No decisions required. The morning runs itself. Your workday. Environment. Phone face down or in a drawer. Browser tabs closed except one. Notifications off. Implementation intention. When I sit down, I write my top 3 before opening email. Habit stack. Sit to top 3 to focus 90-minute block to short break to repeat. Your evening. Environment. Charger in kitchen. Healthy snacks visible. Book on couch. Implementation intention. When it hits 9 p.m., phone goes in the kitchen. Book comes out. Habit stack. 9 p.m. to phone away, to book or journal to 10 to 15 minutes of prep for tomorrow. You're not forcing discipline anymore. You've designed it in. The environment removes temptation. The implementation intentions remove hesitation. The habit stacks remove the gap between knowing and doing. That's the architecture. So here's your only assignment. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Today. Pick one thing from this video. One environment change. One when then plan. One habit stack. That's it. Because discipline isn't built in a day. It's built in a single decision, repeated. And you just made the first one by watching this far. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. Because every week we break down the science of behavior, habits, and performance in a way that you can actually use. And if you want to go deeper on habit stacking, I've linked a video right here that goes through the full method step by step.